Yes.
Hey, welcome everybody to Battle Pirates Crib Open Mic. I'm gonna put the link on the right hand side again. Sorry for the delay. We were adjusting some volumes, and it was trickier than I thought it would be. And once you get to like 7 people, I can't reach the last person. So the link is there in case anybody'd like to join us. They made some changes to VXP Weekend that really didn't match up with what Kixeye had been telling me a couple hours prior to the Wednesday show. So we have a much more manageable VXP weekend than we talked about on Wednesday. They made the addition of 4 ships, so you can actually gain VXP without having to suicide your ships, which is much appreciated, and so and because I've been able to get I think the last run I did with and I still could have kept on going, but I had to start the show. I got a couple 100,000 VXP without having to repair my ships, which is a far cry from what we saw last VXP. Right after we received our Eradicator. So, I'm going to let everybody, now I'll introduce everybody. I was supposed to be getting my beer, and in the meantime, we had complications adjusting volumes. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce everybody from left to right. Toxic.
Good day, everyone. Happy New Year.
Thank you very much. Magic Mike.
Hello, everybody.
Watchman.
Hi, everyone.
And High Lord.
Hello. How's everybody doing?
Oh, pretty good. And Dr. Death.
Hello.
And Ben.
Hello, everyone.
So, does everybody want me to crank up High Lord's volume?
Yeah,
I know you guys.
It's got a bit too low now, isn't it? I think.
Well, they have their
I
own
can just
opinions
start
on
talking,
this, so
and you
it's,
can adjust. You can adjust it until you find the right level. I'll just go rambling on.
I thought my
Blah,
level
blah,
I put
baby.
you at. I thought the level I put you at last week was pretty good, but we still got complaints. So
Dang.
yeah. So okay. No, well, I think I can barely hear them. Yeah. So I'm just not sure if it's just my headphones or what's going on, but I'm not going to turn his volume to mute. So that's really what some people are going for. I'm not certain, or it's just my headphones.
Well,
But
they could do that, but then there's no point in me being on here. And then
no. I'm just no.
I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So
That's like Pleasant, right there. I think. Maybe one.
Okay.
Maybe my headset's turned down a little bit, so he's probably.
Yeah. Okay.
My headset on my end is turned down a little bit.
All right. Well, let's progress then and get rid of stop talking about the mechanics of the show.
Sorry.
VXP weekend. How's everybody doing? It's again, I'm sorry about my rant last week because I was told directly that it would not be changed, but they definitely made a change. And I'm gonna go get a beer, and you guys talk about VXP weekend.
I'll go first. I hit a target this morning, or this afternoon when it first started, and I noticed the 4 ships, but I didn't realize that we're gonna get VXP off of those, and I'm glad because I'm doing a slow repair before I make the second attempt. And on the second attempt, I think I'm going to go gut a whole crap load of 88s. So that's my plan.
I'm not finding them that easy to kill, though.
Well, what
Finish
the
them
big
off.
the ships?
No,
Well, I'm not trying to. No, I don't care about. Oh, we have to finish the base to get out of it, do we?
No, you can time out of it, but if you want to get the the VXP token for the defense.
Oh yeah. Well, you could look for one that's already been scratched and then finish it, but I got like 80 of those, so I don't even care.
Understand, but what I'm saying is it doesn't. They don't appear to be too easy to me. I tried it with some.
Well, I got a brutal and a blank brutal, and I was very impressed with the first hit. I mean, it was already chewed up a little bit, but I killed it, and I was like, "Whoa, this is completely different." Plus, I've added more stuff since the first VXP, so I was happy with the hit. And now that I know that we can get VXP off these ships, in 6 hours when these things are repaired, I'm gonna go get some VXP, get this thing done.
I only had the brutal to rank. So,
Yeah, you ranked yours.
yeah, I had the other 4 ranks at the end of last VXP. Yeah. To be honest with you, I mean, I've only managed to get back on the game again since Wednesday's show. I've only managed to get back on about 2 hours before the show started. So I got my I put a Grease Monkey Crew on. I ranked the Brutal Eradicator, and I only just finished my weekly alliance points about 10 minutes before the show finished. That's how far behind I've been. I've just been so busy. So yeah. So basically, I mean, I'm on here today to find out what other people have been doing. You know what I mean? Just a bit of catch up myself because, say, I haven't had the time to put in.
Yeah, but you can't always have the time. So, and at least it's the weekend now. So hopefully you'll have a few free hours to get done what you need to get done.
Oh no, because I'm self-employed, so I'm still working at home. I've got the editing to do. So,
no, I know that, but I know we've talked about that. But I'm just saying, besides that, when you do have a couple hours here or there, you can try to finish off whatever you need to get done.
Yeah, it's FM mainly, Yeah.
I'm doing all right in VXP weekend. I only have 2 regular eradicators built. One I screwed up with, put the C1CR armor on, which is going to be changed. The other one has 3 of the folded ferrites, and it just outperforms the first one. I'm taking about a half-hour damage per 88. I don't kill it, but I'm running my Highlander nuke cruiser and parking it in the corner.
Nice.
Yeah.
Seems to be working pretty good that way.
Yeah, we
Now-
mentioned that, so that's good that it works.
Now, when you're building the fleet, you should drop the armor on 1 or 2 pieces at a time, and then go to the next one, and then go to the next one, so your fleet is balanced by the time you need to use it.
Yeah, well, that and you shouldn't put your armor on until after you have enough VXP, because if you have armor on, it's going to slow your VXP rate up. It takes like twice as many hits with armor on.
Yeah.
But I notice I am getting points though from some of the turrets. Not a lot of points, but a few. Anyone else see that?
Well, it's always the best way to build your ships. Is always to build them without armor first of all before you rank them, and then put your armor pieces on each ship one
by one.
You know what I mean? So they basically every ship stays in balance with the rest, so they all live and die together.
You do like one piece and then move to the next hole. Do one piece, move to the next hole. Do one piece.
Yeah.
Because what the amount of time you spent putting on armor on those 2 ships, you could have had a 3rd Eradicator, at least a blank.
Yeah, like I said, I messed up on this build.
That's all right, but now you know.
Yeah, and I'm gonna make it better. I'll have 2 done for the raid.
Yeah, I mean, well, I think we spoke with Ren the other week about an idea that he had. That was, I mean, we were only one special off of what he was doing, a few of us, and I won't have time to refit before the raid comes around because I want to get some more armor on what I've got currently. But for the second raid, I hope to have those. It's a short refit for the special on each one,
Yeah, I'm doing the same thing, John Watchman.
Yeah.
Because I like the idea and the reason why, and that's why I enjoy the show and the after show when we get to talk about stuff like that. Because sometimes we trail off during the show and we don't mean to, but after show there's times when Watchmen and I are on for like 7 hours after the show ends, just talking about ideas and stuff.
Is anyone else hearing a weird echo in the background?
I think
Yeah.
someone's got a TV on or something like that.
Yeah, it's definitely. I hear something.
Yeah, I think someone's got a TV on in the background or something.
Yeah, there is a TV. Mike?
No.
Ben?
No, I think it's Dr. Death.
No, I don't have a TV on.
It's definitely not from here because me and the wife both wear headphones.
Okay. All right. And it seemed to stop. So whatever it was is gone away. So what I've noticed as far as hitting the VXP targets is that there's 4 of them. I have 4 eradicators, and I've been hitting them independently, splitting up my ships and hitting each one individually. Because the problem I was running into when I ran them stacked is they all die in single shot. So the first one that hits it gets the VXP, and also you're experiencing splash damage that whole time. So I split them up to limit the splash damage and get consistent VXP from all of the 4 ships.
That's a good idea. I can't wait to try this.
Yeah, and it's I'm sure people could do some fun stuff with breachers that don't have any, that might just have a thud 1 on it and run that as interference.
FA, is that in one target? You're just sending the ships down one at a time to die?
No, I put all 4 in, and then I just send them.
One to each
my
hole.
prep
One
is
to
I
each.
send them to pre-attack locations, and then I just attack 1 ship per, and then I just let it time out and then go again.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely doing that.
Eventually.
I'm definitely doing that on my second run. So as soon as I'm doing the slow repair because I'm trying to save on that. But now that I have this new information, I'm loving it because I'm definitely doing that on the next round, and maybe I'll be able to get either that. If it's not this next hit, it'll be the one after that, and the 4 will be done. I mean, the one suicide I did with the brutal, it only went up to 20% off the first hit, and that's fine. It's better than nothing. So a couple more, maybe I'll be at like 40 or 50, and then I'll worry about the rest 2 weeks when the next VXP comes out, and it'll be more built.
Yeah, I was getting about 6,500 with a triple salty on the with the brutal. Something like that. I mean, that was just going in and suiciding or whatever. But I've only got a FUD on it and an engine.
Yeah, I was able to run it about, and I still had health on my ship. I think it was like 6 or 8 times without repairing, and I was getting about 28K per encounter.
That's
28
awesome.
point something.
Yeah,
and I was able to keep on repeating that again and again, which is way better than what we had going on last time. This is with the triple salty.
Yeah.
So I would recommend that. And the other thing is to peek them with a gunboat or a corvette or whatnot to make sure the ships are still in there.
Good
Because
idea.
you can always just suicide the corvette.
Yep.
And if there's nothing in there, or either way, and just don't hit it if there's no ships in there.
Yeah,
so you don't have to
I didn't
time
know about
out.
the ships.
Yeah, you don't want to go in there if there's not there to get, because then you're gonna have to wait to time out, and that's like 15 minutes.
10. That's all right.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah,
10.
it's 10 this time, but it's still a pain in the ass.
Just 10.
Yeah, no, thank you, Mike. I didn't really notice. Like I said, I only did the one when it first started, and now I'm waiting to do the second. And now with this new information, I'm gonna go. I saw those ships, and I wasn't sure what it meant or what it did, and I was like, "There's something's changed here." And but I've only hit it one time, and thank God for shows like this because now I know how to fill in the rest of the pieces to what I need to do.
Yeah, bugger.
I took the ships out, but then I went ahead and suicided, and that was the mistake. I hit the ships first because I figured they were there possibly for a reason, but didn't have enough forethought to time out and get out and try it again.
Well, as I said, I've not been on all day, so I didn't know there was meant to be ships in them. So I just hit one, and there was no ships in it, and it was right next to me base because I'd moved back to my original sector and back to a relay tower, like where I like to sit, especially at VXP weekend, and I just went back and forth a few times, and there was no fleet in there, so I just suicided my my one. If I'd have realised there was meant to be like a fleet in there, but no one mentioned it, so But I hadn't had a chance to chat with anyone.
Yeah, but you got time now, so now you know. That's the boat that I'm in, because the first target I hit was like half scratched, and I finished it off, and I was like, wow, they're doing better performance than they did last time.
I only had the one hole to the rank anyway. It was only the brutal eradicator, but it's good that everyone else knows that now to go for the ones with the fleeting. You know, I wish I had time to find that out before I started ranking. I just wanted to get that out of the way.
Yeah. But even with you in your situation with the brutal with only the one thud on it, you wouldn't do anything to it, so it wouldn't matter in your case.
All I'm planning to do with that next week when the raid starts is park it in the corner and use the other 4. You know, just that flag is just to give a bonus to the other 4 of them, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how to look at, you know, I've started thinking about, because a lot of people are at this situation where maybe they're going to get 4 done. I've read, a lot of people on Discord are only going to get 3 done, and they're pushing to do that, which I'm not quite certain about. I mean, it's probably something that I've complained about previously, is the fact that PvP is sort of bad for your PvE game as far as getting things slowed down significantly. You know, if your base gets hit and then you're losing X amount of time if you're sleeping or working or whatnot, and it can really screw up your PvE builds. And maybe that's the situation those guys are in, as far as only being able to get 3 done. But then I looked at the fact that it's 1 day, it's a day and a half if you don't have if you don't have R&D 30 and a
officer.
Captain. Officer. So that's how much each one of these armors is. And so they're 20% each for the ferrite armor. And so you get 30% from the flag, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
And so they basically, the idea is that to surpass that, you would need to put 2 on each ship.
Yeah.
Which is going to be 3 days per ship, 12 days. 9 days, 9 days and change to get 30% with the flag, and the flag's already built. So it is it's an interesting,
it's a time crunch, and I don't think I'll have more than 1 ferrite on, and then 3 D1Cs, and for the first one. But I have the brutal blank brutal for the bonus, and like John was saying when we were talking to Ren, come next raid when everything's ranked and stacked and fully built. Well, I think my CL3s are coming off and the Hyper 30s are going on, because I'm not going to need that defense bonus anymore. I'm going to want the speed and the rest of the bonuses that come from the Hyper 30.
Yeah, that's it. Once you've got the full armors on, you should be good. You should have enough. You know.
Well, except for we're all aware that they accidentally released 3 of the the upgrade weapons, the escalation specials and whatnot, that included the CL4. So,
but they didn't.
I don't know. Stripping off an armor special is going to help you as much as you.
Well, I haven't seen that yet. I remember you guys mentioned it, and until I see the numbers, of course, that's when I'll make that decision. But as it is right now, that's my plan.
Well, I think the CL4 will come out after the raid. Come out in the FM after the raid. Yeah, that's probably when it was due to come out. Yeah, and that week is the week afterwards when we'll be stripping back and seeing if we're going to do them refits anyway and what might be viable. Obviously, we know that a lot of damage, or we're hoping a lot of damage is splash based. So using the Hyper 30 can negate some of that. You know,
exactly, and the speed to keep the frenzy going.
You know,
and the speed between targets to keep frenzy going. So it has a lot of benefits, but it is a different alley that not many people want to take that risk.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm gonna put my 2 cents in. I really do think that once you have the armors on, the Hyper 30 is going to be the way to go for about a month.
No, yeah, you're probably right.
Going to drop the refactor on the PvP side, and once they drop the refactor on the PvP side, you're more than likely going to want that armor special back on.
Right, you're right. And then if we have CL4, then we'll just throw that back in its spot, and then we'll be right back in the same order.
Yeah, I mean, but that's it. But as long as the refit, it's only a day or so on each one. It's sufferable rather than having to do like a 3 or 4 day refit and everything. You know what I mean? It's only one special. You know, it's not like we never like to have to keep refitting our fleets, but we know that we're going to have to. But that's again still refitting the same hull as opposed to building the second hull.
I know. I don't even know if I have
We
time
haven't
for
even
that.
touched upon that one yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's the tricky part, because the way it was written, how they were changing this, changing the siege cycle, and I remember at one point they were making this change because we complained that we thought we needed both hulls. I reread it and I can't find that anymore. But are we supposed to build both hulls? I don't know. I mean, it's I remember being questioning the whole thing at one point, and then I'm not sure if they edited that part out, because I swear I saw that was one of the reasons they were changing things, is because we thought we needed both. And the way that they've been introduced is the fact that you're forced to build the Eradicator, and or you're going to just struggle along with Hydras, or maybe Proto Centurions
Or
you
Bucks.
spent.
Well, this is it. I mean, if you didn't have the Eradicator, you wouldn't be able to win the Shrike, but most likely anyway. You know, what I mean? Because it's going to be another high.
You're going to need 100 million at least
to win that. So you kind of have to build the Eradicators to win the Shrike. So yeah, I mean, we've been forced down an alley to start with. Just hope it's not a fucking blind alley, and it doesn't turn out to be the Eradicator. Doesn't turn out to be like a useless at the end of the raid series.
Well,
Yeah,
I got something to say on that. Though. I got something to say on that. Though. This Shrike is going to be interesting, and yeah, it's going to be a different hull, and we're going to have to build it. Blah blah blah. Hopefully, it's not needed for the bonus and the targets, because it is going to be a sub, and to launch a sub fleet, it has to be fully repaired, and that's where I don't like it.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's why I probably won't build it.
Unfortunately, we didn't get a choice, is what my problem is, because they forced us on the Eradicator.
Yeah, you're right.
Hey, let's take George. You want to try a sound check? No, we can't hear you. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Six Pack.
Oh, I had no more to say on that.
Okay. I was just checking because you saw that. George was trying to talk and nobody could hear him. So
yeah, I think he's dropped down. He's probably going to jump back in again. I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, it is. Yeah, I agree. I don't like the way that they forced that one down our throat. Because what happened last time was we got the Bucks, and then we got the Hydras in a TLC, right? Before the raid. It was only a week beforehand, but you could, if you wanted to coin it, you could make that decision to skip over the Bucks, if I recall that correctly. Yeah. But at this point, you don't really have that. You don't really have that choice. So it feels weird to me the way that they're doing this. It doesn't.
It's a forced alley, but I actually like it because of the whole Shrike being a sub. If not, it would have to be fully repaired every time you wanted to launch it, and that's not right for a siege target.
And yet, though, with the differences in the way these two holes will perform, based on what we know so far, it is going to be almost impossible for Kickside to put together a target that both fleets can equally do.
I don't believe for a raid target that the sub would have to be fully repaired. I really do not believe that.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
All subs have to be 100% repaired.
Unless it's not considered a sub. I mean, that's one of those weird things that they could do to us.
Yeah, because
it's a siege ship that's submerged. It's like they could put some sort of weird,
Well, all I'm saying is it's a question in our minds now. So hopefully they figure out before it's said and done.
I mean, as anybody, we don't know if anyone has asked Kickside directly. Does the Shrike have to be fully repaired before it's launched. You know,
I
And
know
have-
nobody has.
you know.
But when they first started talking about the Shrike, didn't they say it was an underwater barge?
Yeah.
They didn't use the word sub.
Yes,
but
they did.
you can name it 100 different things. If it goes underwater, it's a sub.
Underwater.
Okay. Maybe if it's designated as a sub, then it would have the same mechanics as all subs. But if they designated it as a different kind of type of hull, then it wouldn't need to be fully repaired before launch.
If
I
it's
hope
submerged,
that's
the submerged barge, it's not a sub.
I'm not disagreeing with you, and I hope that's the answer. So it does work in the way it should work, but I'm just afraid that it's not. And
But
that's
yeah, actually,
that's
they haven't
gonna hurt.
clarified. They haven't clarified anything, have they? They haven't told us nothing on that. You know how it works. So
Well, if Kickside screwed you like that, that would really be bad because of everything else going on. So I really don't think it's going to be that way.
see, I do think it's possible to make a single target that both hulls can do. Yeah, whereas the Shrike can fire over the mountains and the Eradicator with its speed can run round, you know. So you've got one that sits and, you know, basically snipes from maybe a distance and possibly longer range, and the other one has to run around and use its speed. You know. So I think
Well,
it
they've
could be the
done
same
it
target.
before, haven't they?
Yeah.
We had the Fang Teeth and the Hunter. That was the same target, and they could both do it.
That's it. It's just different ways of approaching the same target, you know. But yeah, I don't know. So it's possible, but it's whether they can get the balance right, which is they're not great at.
Yeah, and then it's a matter of living with your, you know, the Eradicator as it goes through time, as far as TLCs, map targets, things of that nature. Especially the TLCs, as far as how that's going to work out, because, you know, we saw that with the like the Ironclad, you know, the Ironclad versus the Cannoneer. The Ironclad ended up being pretty much useless, but the Cannoneer continued to have life. Yeah, but that's, you know, that's years ago.
Yeah, well, that's it. That's what I said. I mean, they've led us down this alley, and I hope it's not a blind alley. That, you know, at the end of the raid series, the Eradicator becomes useless, and then you need the Shrike to move forward with all the other map targets, whether they're going to throw at us at a later date. You know, because then I'll be getting annoyed. You know, and I think so will many others. You know, where yet again we've been forced to build two fleets rather than have a decision.
The Shrike has a lot of issues. You know, you got to stop the fire. It shoots over mountains and cliffs or whatever the heck you want to call them. So there's like a whole bunch of different dynamics going on with that hole.
Well, if you remember back the, oh geez, I can't think of the weapon now. What was the weapon that we had to stop before it fired? Was it a crossbow?
It was the old Arbalest. It was the old Arbalest.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
crossbow.
Changed it.
Yeah.
Crossbow.
Yeah.
Also, the sub there that had the stuff that would have launched there, and you had to stop the fire. Remember that one?
Oh yeah, those.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I do remember a few holes. Like
There was a couple had goofy things like that.
So it's all been done
before.
before. It's all been done before, so they should be able to do it again.
Well, I can't recall what was the sub that was required to stop. I don't even remember.
It was the missile. It wasn't deluge
the
missile.
missile.
Or deluge or something.
Deluge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was more of a PvP
yeah, but that
weapon.
sub broke the game because they put launchers on it, and that's when they really changed.
Yeah, I think was that the Reapers.
Yes.
Some people put that on. Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
the Reapers, and they had real good. They could cloak really well, and then
And
they
you used
knocked
the
cloak
ECM
down.
with it.
Yeah, then they knocked the cloak down on it, didn't they? And everyone went mad about that. You know, I mean, it was like furious. I had my fleet, I think 95% built, and then they changed it, and I think you fuckers, you know what I mean? You know?
Yeah, you had to run the ECM with it.
Yeah.
To
And
get
you
the,
know what? After they changed it, I never used that fleet. I had it 95% built, and then I never launched it fully in the end. You know, that fleet never saw water in the end. You know.
Yeah. But it was more the weapon than the actual hull that was the issue.
Yeah, it was definitely just the weapon. It wasn't the hull.
Yeah, because it was the Deluge, and there was another one. One was a ship versus
Can't
ship.
think of the name.
But they
And they-
changed the cloak ability of it as well, didn't they? Remember, because
No, we're talking about two different ones. One's the hull, which is the Reaper, and the other one was there was two weapons that were considered underwater weapons, but they would not fire unless
the hull had, so it could be spotted earlier before it could get into range and fire, and in a lot of places, and so that negated its use.
Yeah.
But
And we got some
it reminds
answers. They were downpours as opposed to deluge. One was good versus buildings, and the other one was good versus ships.
Yeah, but what I see is this new hull coming out the same thing. As long as you're moving your cloak, as soon as you stop, it will fire, and then you move.
Yeah, but that almost forces you to get into range of, they're going to have the gun ready for you to pop up out of the water just to take a shot.
Well, it's a launcher.
I know, I'm just saying, though, whatever it is, that area where you need to be to hit whatever you're trying to hit, there's going to be guns pointing at you when you're ready to fire.
Well, it shoots over the mountains, doesn't it? So you can use them as cover, and then.
Well, no, because if you look in the VXP targets, their weapons are shooting through the mountains.
Huh.
But I mean, we're actually kind of generalizing again because they haven't given us any real.
Well, yeah,
direction.
we're all guessing. We're just hoping that we're not going to get screwed. But anyways, let's go back to whatever it is we wanted to talk about. Did we have like a theme in the show, or are we on it?
Yeah, well, Kickside, please fix something because right now I got a 28-day bubble and I'm giving 28 days to fix PvP.
What?
Wait, you bought a bubble, or they gave you a bubble?
I bought the bubble.
Oh.
They have to fix PvP. They got to take and put a tier on the armors. That's the quickest fix is to put a tier on the armors and the hell with the rest of it. And there are going to be a lot of mad players, but there are going to be a lot of players quitting if they don't.
It is possible to stop the fleets that are coming in.
Yeah, my base is working all right, and I showed Watchman it the other day, and I've had 2 visitors, and it worked pretty dang good, and I'm happy with it.
It's 2019. I will not rebuild hulls I scrapped 3 years ago or 2 years ago.
I built a Malice only because I had tokens, so I kicked out one. But then I went to try to use it, and the game was lagging because of VXP. So by the time I could actually control it, it was already dead. I'm like, damn it! I need to put you in one spot. You went too far.
Kicks, I made a mistake before the holiday. Didn't put a tier class on there. I don't care if it's tier 8 or tier 7 and 8. They have to put a tier class on it.
Yeah.
Well, no, what's going to happen is, all these players are out there rushing to rebuild these tier 5 holes and set them up, right? But Kix has already stated we've got the PvE refactor coming probably the end of January, 1st of February. And when that drops, that's going to change. Or we got the second PvP refactor coming, which is supposed to take and change everything on tier 6 and below in the game, how the stats are set up on those, because they never changed the tier 6 and below stats on the holes yet, like they did the tier 7 holes when they did the refactor. So we've got this other refactor still coming.
That refactor is more about your base pad. I don't know if
No. It's about all the freaking holes that are on all the Conqueror holes that are both tier 6 and below.
Well,
and all the Defender holes that are tier 6 and below are going to be changed over to run stats just like the tier 7 and tier 8 ships are now running.
Half
of those tier 5 ships are going to be useless.
We'll have a bounty before then. So they're going to release another. What are we expecting this time? Another Defender hull?
I think so.
A tier 8 Defender hull.
Yeah, but not everybody has what we have. So I mean, a lot of players are still getting the stuff that it's still in the game, and they need ways to be able to still use that stuff. So I mean, geez.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, it's being exploited to death, and I'm at the point right now, and I'm so upset with Kixeye over the last raise, the bounty, over everything. that right now I got one foot out the door, and it's not going to take much to go. I bought a bubble. If they don't fix it by that bubble, I'm gone.
It's there are bases there are plenty of bases that are stopping the rage fleets and the variations, that are out there. Yeah, it just depends on the base design.
I understand,
Uh,
but a lot of people
yeah.
are getting rid of their turrets. They're doing a lot of things to hurt themselves in the future. This is 2019. This is not 2017.
You don't need to get rid of all your turrets. You know.
I'm just saying, many
Yeah.
players do, and they are stopping them, and because they got a bubble pad quick, and they took off all their long range weapons, all these other things they're doing to compensate for it. But I'm not going to do that.
No, well, I wouldn't go that far either. I mean, the long range weapons aren't really good anyways because they don't have the damage that's needed to get through the deflections. So I pretty much dropped all those myself. But the rest of it, I wouldn't like take off turns just so to try to stop a fleet. Forget that. I mean, I'll just
Hey,
keep
you
looking
get a
at the
bonus
hits.
point for calling them turrets.
I know, right?
I mean, short range turrets are pretty good in the bubble pad. They do more damage, yeah. So they don't like to sit there for too long, with them, and so they have to kill them, and then you get your 25%.
Well, they are refactoring the bubble pad because even before when it was just breachers without these little bonuses they're getting from these old hulls, they come in and snipe your fleet out. And I set my base up so they can't do that.
Yeah,
but I got busted by the rage and the spite,
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I mean they can be painful, but what I'm saying is like we don't normally talk about PvP, give things away, but it's like you say, they can come in and snipe out your your guard fleet. But if the short range or turrets are still hitting them because they haven't killed and they're actually doing damage, then that most players don't like that. So a lot of players. I mean, all right, the best players are always going to get in, but a lot of players will try and get rid of them because they can lose quite a lot of fleets in the prep.
To be honest, turrets do no damage. They tickle the paint. It's your defense ships that do the damage.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I got a lot of flamethrowers mid range.
I disagree with that. Yeah,
they chew shit up.
Yeah.
I think mid range is the way to go, and you want to have a couple shorts, and then I don't know if you want any longs anymore.
If your turrets don't do any damage, then maybe you haven't got them set up right. Because mine certainly do.
Well, I run mostly mid range and shorts.
Well, yeah, you got to change the fraction and make sure they're all boosted and all that crap.
Unfortunately, there is no concussive or corrosive. There's a corrosive faction. There's
no
concussive faction.
You don't want, corrosive is witch doctor, so they'll go right past all that. So you don't. Concussive is the one that you're talking about, and that you are true. There isn't a fraction for that yet. That's why I go to Rever. So I use the radioactive.
Well, I'm using radioactive because I put a lot of on my. I have 3 full rank portals, and I put radioactive on each of them. On every one of them. And I'm going radioactive, but my real killing power is one corner where it's all concussive.
Yeah. But I mean, even that. I mean, it's good that you put those there for what they can do. But the problem with the portal is it only holds one special and one armor, so you're limited on the power.
Well, for the bubble pad, you don't want the armor first.
Well, if you're talking about just bubble pad alone, well, then I can understand. But there's a lot of ways around that. But it just takes a little bit of time to figure it out.
Well, to stop breaches when they were coming in before, the only way to do that is to get a bubble pad as fast as you could.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, to stop prep, make sure it's a one hit. You know what I mean? Sort of, and they've got to go through everything.
It'd be a 2-hit, but the problem is that they got these tier 5 and tier 5.5 and tier 6 ships that are just eating that up.
Yeah, but I mean, like on my base, like I don't care. I mean, I try to make the bubble pad and I try to make it work, but That's not stopping me from doing what I need to do. Everything's fortified. Everything's got armor on it. I don't give a shit about, okay, he's going to get a little bit further because he's paying for that win. And if he has to pay to win, I'm happy with that. I stopped him from doing what he had to do because he can't do it in one shot.
Well, I'm 11,149 base, and I'll be damned if I'm
All
gonna
right.
get
Yeah, I'm a
beat by a little
124,
guy.
so you got a little bit more time than me, so I can understand your frustration.
And I've only been beaten once before I bought the bubble by these rages and all these small ships coming in. It's wrong. The armor is way overpowered for what that ship is. And the only fix I see is to actually tier class. It's the cheapest thing for kicks to do. And a lot of people are going to be mad about that, but that's too bad. That armor should never have been released the way it was. They were going on vacation for 2 weeks, and they never came back and looked at it.
Well, did you get the armor?
Of course I have the armor.
All right, I didn't.
But I'm not going to take and make my old ships come back again after I scrapped them all a couple of years ago.
I didn't.
Well, there's also defensive hulls that can take advantage of that.
Yeah. Now, I didn't, but I still think I can build something that can stop them.
Yeah, defensive hulls too. I mean, you put that on a defensive hull with the matrix, so it can get more heal and have it in the right area. I mean, there's a lot of things.
I'm thinking old school. There's the ones that fought against the
the hopes and stuff. Yeah.
Well, hopes and valiants and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I scrapped all of them too. Right now, I made my base so breachers can't snipe me out.
Yeah, but you're a 149. I mean, I'm not saying that's bad. That's a good thing, but you're at the top of the spectrum versus the majority of the player base.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also one of the biggest targets.
Yeah. With a level like that, you'd be busy. Yeah.
Can I take a step back to the PvE world as far as
please.
Eradicator builds? I see several options associated with the engines on the Eradicator. Either the ballistic resistor, the radioactive resistor, speed 6, and strike 5. Where's everybody going and why? Why are you making?
I'm going speed 6 because I don't think the 15% and a little bit slower speed is going to be that much of a benefit since I have the flag built. So I'm looking big picture.
Okay, so you're picking the speed 6 over the other two because of the turn speed and
the combat speed.
For the combat speed is less than the strike 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess I don't think Strike 5 goes into whack because of the different bonuses with the rest of the stuff I have on the whole. So Strike 5 is not even. I don't need splash. So right now I don't care for that. I'm not going to waste space for that.
No, Strike 5 doesn't add splash. It's much. Oh,
that's the missile one, isn't it?
Yeah. It adds projectile speed. It has additional. It has doesn't include evade, which is on speed 6. But it's much faster than the other two.
Yeah.
It has a lesser turn speed, but the resistors have the same turn speed as the speed 6, but lower combat speed. But they do have 15% resistances, either against radioactive or ballistic.
Yeah, to tell you the truth, Hefe, I didn't even look at Strike 5.
Okay, I'm going to say now, I've gone with Speed System 6 because I'm also using nuke accelerators.
Correct.
And welded barrel system, and they both give me a combat speed bonus.
Yes.
And a Strike 5 doesn't stack with those.
Yeah, that was the reason.
Now, see, when I bought the Eradicator, there was a build that kicks I had there. What you wanted? You wanted the Siege 4. You wanted the targeting 4, you wanted all that, and you wanted to actually use the cannon system 4. And that's the way I built mine, and it really holds up, except now, I don't have any new armors on it.
I've got a combat speed of 72.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you guys can get with using Strike 5, whatever it is, yeah?
Yeah, I don't know, but I would never build anything the way Kick says this is how you should build something because I mean they'll get you close, but it's never right on.
But how do they tell you to build it?
Not
When
me,
you
him.
when you purchased the Eradicator, there was a pop up that came up. This matches with it.
Oh, that's. I think they had the interns do that crap.
That's the guys that I've only ever seen about 6 specials, not the other.
Yeah, because some of that stuff is just complete bullshit. George, you want to do a mic check? Nope. Okay.
Damn, he's still
But
not
I
working.
did come up with the highest damage of all the builds I've seen in my alliance.
Now, see, I'm running the ballistic resistors myself, and in the VXP targets, I'm not having any issues outrunning stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What's your combat speed?
1 second, let me pull it up here. I think it's
Are you running ballistic or rad?
ballistic resistors.
Okay. For some reason, I thought you were running rad, but okay.
Well, even so, the ballistic. I mean, the speed between 5 and 6 is pretty similar, and the resistors fall on the speed 5.
My combat speed is 70.
All right, so it's only 2 below mine. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
My question is, okay, I ran out of ballistic resistors, and I now have to run 2 rad resistors. Is it better to take one of the limited armors and make up for what I'm losing on the ballistic?
That was my thought. I mean, I think that's what I recommended to Ben. That's why I thought he was running rad. Yeah, you could make up for it there. But we don't. I did ask Robot, because he designs the targets. I did ask him if we're going to see the same sort of size target that we see.
Are you saying putting in a speed armor in as opposed to a?
No. The D6 the D6C.
Okay.
Which adds plus 30% ballistic resistance as opposed to adding 20%. So making up that difference, not a speed difference, but a resistance difference, is more what we were talking about. Also with 0 repair time, it has half the armor of the ferrite, but
it's light as shit, isn't it? Isn't it like 125 tons?
Yeah. It's very light.
Yeah, but
I'm not sure.
You compensate for losing the ballistic that you're getting from the other armors, because you don't have the right resistor.
Mm-hmm.
And
or I could take them off my hydras. Yeah,
because the javelins give you the most damage in that target, is why I want to know.
How much damage are you running there, 6-pack?
I'd have to look, but I think it's over 1,400.
Okay, I'm getting 1,583.
Yeah, so am I.
With that, yeah.
And building damage 941.
Yeah,
I have to load the game.
Me and John have like the same builds right now.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much the same. Actually, Ren had the same build, and the only special difference he had, we were running the Ally Armor CL3, and he was using the 30.
Yeah, well, he was talking about it. Yeah, but that's what the next switch is going to be. But mine and yours are the same.
30, yeah.
Yep. Because mine's 72 as well. I just checked.
I mean, but obviously we haven't used these in anger yet, so we really don't know how they're going to work. But obviously after this raid, Ren will be using his. We'll be using ours, which is his will have the hyper 30s. Ours will have the ally.
Well, mine will have hyper 30s as well.
Yeah, and then we can report back and we can see like who's the kind of damage that we were taking, and whether the ally worked better than the hyper 30s or not, or vice versa, and refit accordingly.
Or if somebody switches it up.
I'm sorry. Unfortunately, the lead ship takes so long to build that it's not going to be done. It's not going to be anywhere close. It's not going to be ranked. And,
mine's blank. I built it just for blank, just for the aura.
Yeah, we'll park it in the corner. We'll park it in the corner and use it to boost the other 4.
Yeah, but I can't get that in time for the raid because it's going to take too long because I built full ships. And what's going to happen is I've got to deal with using something that maybe be able to do tier 6 for the raid.
Yeah.
Well, the nuke cruiser, people were saying you can get the bonuses off of that. So if you have one of those maybe hanging around, maybe you use that in the corner.
Nope, scrap that along with the other bullshit. That's
and I doubt that's going to be able to get in the tier 8 /
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah,
You're
they'll
right.
be locked out of that. Yeah, and they might let it down in a lower level, but and it could still give you a good bonus even at the next level down. So it's still worth doing if you've got one. But as you
I
said,
refit Hydras for the tier 6. I don't mind grinding out tier 6 if it gets me the raid.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that with my bucks with this campaign here. I already put like a 1 or 2 devastators on them like a couple weeks ago because I had tokens, and I'm gonna grab the rest of these tokens and maybe try to throw on a couple ferrites or something, just for a backup fleet for points while I'm letting the other one repair.
But remove the antis.
Well, yeah, that too. Yeah. I've already started ripping most of those off. I left the one on because I still use it for base part targets, and I like the auto.
Yeah, I mean, so the advice is obviously people that haven't got a full fleet built. If you've got to drop down. If you do have a Highlander, get it over there, park it in the corner for that ballistic bonus, and use your fleet and sit and sell where that works really. But as we know, no one's hit on these targets yet, so we don't know what they're capable of.
And also, I like to throw something in that I forgot about, and I remembered yesterday when I was rolling crews. The Iridium Cutthroat crew gives like 30% to radiation, so might be something to look at if you have some.
Yeah, it's only 22 minutes, 27 minutes.
Yeah, but there's more to that than we can talk about after the show.
We talk about that. Is the fact that if you never dock, you can keep on going.
Yeah.
You see what the problem is with the OP 10 came out. Is it 10 or 11 now? I can't remember. Well, OP 10 came out. We'll call it 10. And then you could take an upgrade and get more storage. But before that, we didn't have enough storage. So we had to start getting rid of crews because you're getting 2 fleets for every raid. And there just wasn't any more time. You couldn't do this. You had to start removing crews. And that's why I will not rebuild any old ship.
Oh, you mean you had to not crews? You mean you had to start removing hulls?
Yeah, because it's dock space. I know what you mean. I mean, I with you. I scrapped all my stuff too, hopes and all that. I had like 5 malices. I even scrapped. I saved one until like 2 months ago, and then I finally scrapped it. But I had tokens, so in between 2 refits yesterday, I built one real quick. But I understand your frustration, and I agree with you.
I've kept nearly all of my defender holes, because you never know when that special is going to come in handy again.
Yeah, but like you said, when you're looking for dock space,
scrap the hopes, everything. I scrapped everything that was not pertinent to tier 7 or tier 8.
Yeah, you look at the armor and you're like, oh, this is not going to last more than 2 shots. Well, with the new armor, of course, now it will, but we didn't know that was coming. We don't have that map.
Yeah, I mean, you could put an Omni Behemoth in your base, and and it still gives bonuses, and stick it out of the way. Any quite a few of them old holes still can work well in the defense, to boost the other 4.
I still prefer the what is the Warden there? Is that the one that's got the Warden there that throws the long range shit? Is that the
remote targeting? Yes. Yeah,
Yes.
the Warden does remote targeting. Yeah.
I still prefer that over all the other ones they had. I mean, I still kept the Omni, but thank God. But
I've got the flag of that as well. The Wardens and that. Yeah, I pulled that one out, and funny enough, I chopped the Omni in.
The High Guard.
Yeah, High Guard Warden. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, but I end up still putting 3 breachers in my guard.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I've never put a breacher in the guard.
Yeah, I did for like the first week when they were, but now I just used impact cruisers and build them like baby breachers.
Yeah,
Well,
I did.
I took and refit the new thing that came out in the FM there on my one that was a scattergun breacher, and I mean it's got a lot of damage, and it's got the same range as the cannons.
Yeah, I mean, onslaughts still work. I think I've still got one onslaught right in my guard fleet, and that's the only ship that can move. You know what I mean? So I don't really have the opportunity to be called Mario Andretti or show me age here. Driving me fleet around because it's the only thing that does move. But my
I'm
guard
never
fleet is not.
ashamed of that. I'll tell
Yeah,
you
mate.
what, if you
Yeah.
can attack me and you can take and retreat
Yeah.
10 times and you can come in and hit me again, I'm gonna drive.
Yeah, I don't even drive. I put them on roam, and they're limited range, and they will move like the 3 ICs. But I don't really care about driving. I'm like, whatever.
But we've gone back onto base defense. And
Yeah, we
guard.
we lost track of what we're supposed to be talking
We're
about.
supposed to be talking about
My
eradicators.
fault.
and
I'm just angry about this thing.
VXP, the next raid and faults and what we're doing. And
VXP this time around was instead of 14 hits, it was 10 hits for me to rank 1 eradicator, which was a little better, but not much.
Yeah, plus you got a lot of armor on yours. You got a lot of armor, so it should have been like 20 hits.
It's full. It's full built.
Yeah, that's what
I
I'm
was
saying.
killing the targets.
yeah, I mean,
Without armor, it might have been 5 hits.
yeah. Can I ask why you put the armor on before you rank it?
Because I've got so many ships I've built in the past that I had to scrap that were fully full XP and everything on them, and never got to build them. So I don't build that way no more. Now I build full ships.
Okay, but when it comes to when it comes to raid holes, you are going to build them.
I'm going to build them all right from
Yeah.
scratch, all the way through. I'm not going to take and rank something that's not built.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
It's a waste of time. It's a waste of effort. It's a waste of money.
Mm.
And the worst thing is, with the next fleet coming out, I'm not going to end up with a full fleet of anything because I'll be building them.
No, I won't have a full fleet built.
Yeah, I'll be lucky to have just blanks to rank. And
I think 95+% of the player base will not have a full fleet of 5 built and ranked. It'll be the 5% or less that are, that shovel money in. The rest of us mortals, will be running with at the best 4 and some other hull that we hopefully can use to give a bit of an extra bonus in either tier 8 or tier 7 or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I still have 4 razors. I don't have a 5th razor. I can't get into my shipyard. See, we need the Conqueror shipyard. Should never have been a Conqueror shipyard. It should have been what we wanted: another full working shipyard.
Yeah, just a replica of the first one, basically. Yeah. No, I totally agree with that. I mean, and I'm fine if you still had to use titanium. Because at least you have that. It's better than having no second shipyard, but at least it'd be nice to be able to build any fleet you wanted in it.
Absolutely. So you can do the updates and everything they're giving us,
But
upgrades.
Also know why they didn't give us that, because then there's no way that anybody would coin their raid holes because they'd have them built in time.
Everything in the game is coin. I'm sorry. They made a mistake. I'm tired of paying for their mistake. They screwed up. It's not my fault. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm not the designer. I'm not the one that let out. And if they want marketing to do it, that's what's happening. And from what I understand, anybody, designer, mod, CM, anybody that does anything that talks to the community now, marketing is in control, and they get rid of them.
Yeah. I think if they want us to build 2 fleets, then both shipyards should be able to build any hull. If they expect us to be able to build 2 fleets in 3 months.
It's absolutely true.
Or under
But
3
see,
months.
they lost a lot of money on refactor, and now refactor is broken. So what are they going to do? Spend a lot more money, or are they going to go the easy way out, which is put a tier lock on the armor?
Do you mean the new armor? I came in late. Sorry.
Absolutely, Padre.
Yeah. There's easier ways to fix it than tier locking it, but that is an absolute fix. But then you run the risk of everyone who's been coining to either combat the new old ships, or build their own new old ships.
Just
Getting
coin them back. Just coin them back. Look what they did. They give you 7-day build tokens on every ship in the whole Conqueror class.
That was only for tier 7 though. It didn't work on anything else.
Right. All right. Tier 7, but they can give you a charge back on all the lower halls for what you
Yeah.
got, and you can get that all fixed.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
Be honest with this tier 6 hull situation. I expect it's probably going to be fixed Tuesday, where they won't be effective anymore.
I think it's only got a 2-3 week window, and then it'll be completely fixed.
Well, I was watching Discord, and a lot of people want them to play with all the auras and move the auras and all. That's a big fix for Kixeye to do. The cheapest and fastest way is just tier limited. I don't care if they tier limit to tier 8 only.
And they're not going to do that. That doesn't. I don't see that happening.
Yeah,
I see a more elegant solution than that. Yeah, tier locking is not going to. It's not going to work.
well, it's not fair, because if I went out and spent my points and that's all I could get was that one piece of armor, and now I can use it, and I only have tier 5 stuff, well, I want to use it.
But if they paid you back for it, what's the difference?
But I
How
still
are
want
they
it
paying
to
you
work.
back?
2 weeks
Yeah,
Back rubs? I
Well,
don't know how they're going to pay you back.
Let's talk about paying someone back. How do you calculate that cost? Just in the cost of what building a ship or putting that armor on a ship? Because I built about 3 ships to compensate for stuff that I had deleted. Also, everything in my base guard was getting refits. I was changing my whole base, going out and get base parts. So how do you calculate the compensation for somebody because of the screw up? It can't just be, oh, look, you put the coin on, here's 7 days of tokens for the ships you've got the armor
I think
on.
it should be the same as refactor and give you 7-day build tokens, so many for the lower tiers, and it covers it because you can't use them in the higher tiers. It gives you your.
But that still doesn't compensate me for the base guard refits, the base parts that I went out and got, the whatever, you know what I'm saying? Nor does it compensate your time.
I don't think you can fix the whole thing. They screwed up. They went on vacation.
Okay, look, I'm not the best player in the world. I never claimed to be, but I'm a level 129. I think I can build to be able to stop the fleets that come in with the new armor on. Okay, it's just if you can get the right design in the base, they're capable of being stopped. You don't even have to have the new armor yourself.
Nope.
Because you've got ships. You've got ships with range that can outrange those. And Brian, like Padre, you demonstrated that to us on Wednesday.
Yeah.
I will not play with old tech that's been obsolete for 2 years. This is 2019. It's tier 8. It's not tier 5. It's not tier 5.5.
No.
What does the wife think about it?
But not everybody's at that level.
No, because you're still using specials from years ago. Okay.
That overpower everything. They overpower tier 8.
When combined with tier 8,
because the point of tier 8 wasn't meant to be overpowering.
Okay, I think a lot of people that are making, just get rid of level lock and whatnot, they also complain the fact that at this point in time we don't have the flexibility that we did historically, right?
Well,
it's the same people like, oh, well, we used to be able to do this, we used to be able to do that, and make up new stuff that was creative and fun and whatnot. So it's the opposite side of that, saying to tier lock it, which is what they've been doing. I have not seen them say that they screwed up, but it's obviously they didn't think it through. But tier locking it, I don't like the idea because it opens a whole Pandora's box of stuff that they've they've done historically that's been awful. And
it is
and
what
that
they
players
forgot to
don't
do
like.
when they released the armor. That's the only thing I'm saying. The armor is the only thing that's the issue.
Well, I think that's
They
allowed
didn't put a
people to
tier
be
lock on it.
creative. I think that's allowed people to be creative again. It might have been unintentional, but it's been interesting.
Yeah,
You know?
it has.
Well,
Look,
I put a 28-day bubble. I'll quit if they don't fix it, and that's the end of it. And I pay $750 to $800 a month, and they can just kiss my ass.
Well, here was the suggestion that I sent to Kixeye. I directly messaged one of the Kixeye employees, and I mentioned this last time on the after show, but I guess I'll put it out there for the public to hear. As far as the rage is concerned, it is not working as the hull describes it. The hull describes it as being untargetable after it shrouds, not invulnerable. And that being said, I have on several occasions seen two volleys in the air. The first volley lands and shrouds it and does about half damage. The second volley will land and does nothing, even if the ship is sitting still. So that being said, the rage isn't working the way it's supposed to. Fix the rage, make it take splash damage after it shrouds, and I promise you it's not going to be an issue anymore because it's going to get...
the rage shrouds every 100
Yeah,
points.
that's fine. But if
And
you've
you
got
got
something doing damage in your base,
15,000 points.
150, you've got 1.5 million points.
Yeah.
But
So
it
it's
still doesn't
15
matter.
times. 15 times it would shroud if. But Brian's trying to say is that if it still took splash damage, it wouldn't make it that far.
No, it wouldn't, because it's only taking
So
the
you'll
initial
throw some more
volley.
plating on there.
It doesn't. You're not going to throw enough war plating on there to stop. To stop the damage. Especially, well, in my base, I'm putting out quite a bit of damage with rockets. But
But why should I refit my base and everything because they made a bad decision on the armor?
Because most of us have had to as well. I mean, we
you have to do that every time they.
Well,
they
wait a second. Wait a second. Every time they come out with new tech or new hull on the PvP side, we respond by changing something. It's the game. It always constantly evolves. There's always constantly new stuff coming out. Now, just because some armor came out that made some old tech relevant doesn't mean that it's broke. It just means that you now have to adjust to compensate for the new tech that they brought out that made the old tech relevant.
I agree with that.
So I have to redesign my base and do everything after I just stop.
You got to redesign after every time they bring out new tech for the
tier 8
PvP
hull
side.
may cause you to redesign everything. You don't know. I mean, and then let me just finish with the second part. The spites and malices, which are also an issue for people. Priority targeting does not target them initially. It's working based on a percentage damage to the ship. So if all the ships come in there full health, it targets whatever's closest. So priority targeting, if that was made to target the lowest armor point, which I would consider the lowest health ship, at that point in time, you could put long range weapons in there that would chew it up before the other ships could get into range to do any damage to your fleet.
You understand the next tier 8 ship is going to be mortars. It's going to be another sloth thing. It's going to be all crazy again.
Yeah, but it is what it is. The game progresses. We can't fight that part of the game.
But throw that in with the bonuses from the little ships.
Yeah, but it all adds up. We always have to keep moving forward and changing. It's just part of it.
Make priority targeting work, and I promise you put a 297, couple of 297 range or 300 range weapons with priority targeting in your base. You're going to take that little spite out. It's not even going to be a factor because nothing will be able to get into place before it's dead. So it's going to be pointless.
Well, I got to see it because right now it looks like another foot out the door and I'm done.
Well, I'm just saying if they would fix some of the mechanics in the game that I feel aren't working the way they're described, that's two ways, and that solves all three problems for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, sadly, there is always a problem that they haven't done everything correct, and not everything is working as intended.
Yeah, that's not even a new game designer's fault.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they didn't have the foresight to see what would happen with this armor and older hulls, but I attribute that to the fact that they're coming into somebody else's game. They're trying to design around other people that and they don't have the history.
Yeah,
They don't understand the game like we do. They may understand game design, but they don't understand the way the game has been played for the last however many damn years we've been playing it. So
they haven't looked back at 300 specials and Christ knows how many different holes that we've had, and we think, you know what I
they
mean?
just need a little rigorous testing before the stuff goes out. Because I know a few people were like, "This is gonna, this armor is gonna change a few things on older holes."
Oh, I knew it was.
But
I said, get it. I said, get that thing.
Yeah. But as we've seen, that can be negated. It can, they can be stopped. It's not easy.
No,
but,
you got to rework your base, but you got to rework it anyways. Tier 8's out now, and this is just the first step of Tier 8. So the next weeks and months is all new Tier 8. So every time something else comes out new, we got to change it anyways.
Yeah.
Beyond that, look at last raid. Look at what Kixeye's been doing. They've been monetizing because they fucked up and had to refactor. And that's the honest truth. And everything is a charge back to us. Even then, we had to come up with the resources and everything to do everything on the refactor. They didn't kick it in. We had to pay for it. Look what they did in the raid. They killed all the ships in the lower tiers instantly.
John, how much?
Crazy.
How much did you just say you spend in a month?
About $750.
Okay.
I think you got me beat. You get a hat.
And you
I'm on a higher level.
Yeah.
I have to keep SD7 out of my base.
Right. But I'm just saying at $750 a month, you should be able to fix that base pretty quick.
I could if I want to spend more money, but I'm not going to spend the fucking money on idiots.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's two sides of this. I mean, a lot of players, in your position, might decide to, if I'm spending that kind of money, might decide to be.
It's called chargeback.
No. What, you want to listen? Might decide to do something, productive with that. As far as like encountering the new challenge that's in front of us. I mean, but a lot of players are like, how long until they fix this? Because this is obviously a broken mechanic, and they've waited too long in order to fix it, in my mind. Because sometimes they used to fix things really quickly. Does anybody remember the turret defense associated with frontline countermeasures when it first came out?
I do.
It wasn't 50% turret defense. It was 75% turret defense. Turret. I said
turret, whatever you want to say.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is
building with a gun on it.
They fixed that quickly and brutally. And so it did not encourage people to go out and continue to spend to use it in a way that they did not intend.
They did not have a problem nerfing all the modules on your warehouses and everything and reducing all the values on them.
Yeah, but that was part of the refactor, which is we talked about last week and the week before.
No, prior to refactor. Prior to refactor, they did that.
Okay. But what I'm saying is you could either make a decision to be proactive and try and figure out the current situation if you have faith that this is going to stick around. My situation is I don't know how long this is going to stick around. Do I spend my efforts trying to work around a situation that I think that they're going to kill next week? I think that is the bigger issue.
Of course,
along with the fact that they haven't appeared to test stuff in all aspects of the game when it's released.
Consolidation was the first step showing the things aren't right. When they consolidated, they went from 5 servers
you're off
to
on
1.
a different topic, though. I don't really want to be mean, but you're off on a whole.
I'm trying to get the point. And with consolidation, look what happened to War Commander and everything. Now they're
you're talking about War Commander. Like you're way off on a different subject at this point.
I don't even play that game, so I don't care about War Commander.
Oh my! But yeah, Sector Consolidation was a testament to the failure of their previous actions. But basically, so we've all now been put into what are now a lot busier sectors, yeah. But the vast majority of players are not spending fortunes. Yeah, but we are all trying to adapt to what is happening in front of us, and that is it. You know, with limited budgets and some people on no budget. You know, and you know we have to adapt to what every time they introduce something new. We have to accept the change and try to work to counter that. You can't
I just know I'm 66 years old and I'm tired of going through this. I've been doing this almost 8 years, and you know, it's always money.
I have to ask something because it's just been questioning me. What in the world are you spending $750 a month on? Like, is it like base attacks? Like, are you coining your baser? Like, that's a lot of money.
When I start hitting bases, you know, if I get drunk, I'll go and hit 100 bases. Yeah, of course I'm spending money on
All right, so it's basically for base attacks. I just wanted to know because I was like, damn, man. Because Watchman had a point. Like, if you spend that much money a month, these fixes would take you probably less than a day.
But you know, that's rarely that I do the base attack things, and it's fun. I don't mind spending for that. But I'm spending for refitting, you know, for repairing my bases and stuff and everything else. It's a lot involved in it.
I guess.
Okay. Yeah. Did we ever get to the bottom of what engine everybody's going to put on their Eradicator? Because I think we're going down some weird rabbit hole at this point.
Yeah, we definitely ventured off. Let's get back into the ERADs.
Did we do
Yeah,
that?
well, it's something that people, you know, the
Hydraulic
people.
resistors on them, all the B's I could, and I've got 2. They're going in this rad. That's why I asked before changing an arm would make a difference from the Forsaken Mission.
Okay. Yeah, George is voted in. He's, for some reason, his mic's broken. He's going speed system 6.
Yep, same here.
Yeah.
I think
only
the purple one. That's the one I'm using.
Yeah, the purple. Yep.
Yeah.
Because I
Why-
can stack the welded barrel system and the accelerators with it as well. And
Okay, so why are people not going with Strike 5?
I didn't even think about it because it won't stack with the rest of my stuff. I think that's what me and Watchman were talking about because of our
because you
Won't
use
stack with the
ballistic.
HVR, high velocity rounds.
high
I didn't use
velocity
HVR.
rounds. Yep.
yeah, I've got that as well. High velocity round. I mean, currently, I'll read out the 6 specials that I've got. Speed system 6 as the engine. Yeah, and then the 2 with speed boost, welded barrel system,
Mm-hmm.
nuclear accelerators, siege battery 4, high velocity rounds, and then at the moment ally armor CL3, but that could be refitted to Hyper 30. We'll see how things behave.
I don't think you're going to need the CL.
Yeah, but
That's what we were talking about last.
yeah,
That's what
because
Ren
I
brought up.
fitted them, Brian. Probably after this raid, I won't have time to refit and get the rest of my armor on the 4 ships I will have built.
You should listen to Ren. He's Pirate of the Year.
Yeah. I mean,
No, he had made a good point. If I didn't already put CL3 on because of time frames and for tokens,
so
and
after
if that spot was open, I would have put on Hyper 30 right away.
yeah, that's it. I'll refit to the Hyper 30s probably after. But what we want to see is, of course, how mine or other people's do with the CL3 on, how his do with the Hyper 30s, because the build is identical apart from the one special. So if we find out what either fleet was taking in damage, and then we can compare and see, you know, how viable the refit is. That's it. And until we start hitting targets, no one's really going to know. And of course, that depends, of course, on how much armor and how ranked your fleet is. You know, because you need obviously almost an identically built fleet, and very few people are going to have that, I suppose.
Well, there's my build, what I'm running right now.
Wow, nice.
And have you got 4 of those, John?
Yeah, four like this.
Have you got anything to put up the front of it?
Oh, you're going with loader. Nice, interesting.
Yeah.
So no nuke. Wait, what are you doing for range? You have? Oh no, I see. Oh yeah,
No.
you have the gold nuke. Oh, that's right. That's why it threw me for a
I
second.
think it's less time to do the one, but I just for some reason. That's what I selected.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
that,
did.
that has splash and it's not needed right now, but it might come into play, on raid 3.
A new something comes out. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
you don't need the gold one. It takes longer to build, and it gives you splash that you don't.
Well,
You don't-
you don't
except
need
for
it.
Yeah.
except for maybe with the escalation weapons, they may have splash. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Well,
So-
yeah.
We
Well,
don't-
if there's
we
a
don't
nuke,
know.
well, if there's a nuke 3 as well, there's going to be escalation and it's going to come back into factor. But for raid 1, it's not needed. There is no splash bonus.
Has anybody seen what the third one looks like?
No,
Somebody
I
said they
mean,
saw it, but I didn't see the stats. I wish I would
no,
have.
the stats were identical to the predecessors.
Oh yeah,
They
that's
had
right. It
a
was like
basically
1
instant
second
repair
build.
time,
Yeah, I mean, what I would suggest to people,
I mean, instant build time is what I'm saying, not repair time.
as a suggestion, if you're going out, and you haven't got a full fleet built yet, wait till the FM after the raid. I expect that's when they're going to release those specials. Carry on refitting your armor and other things that you might need, and then think about changing the specials after the first FM of the behind the raid, because that's when the new specials might drop that might make a difference.
Brian, I like your build.
Accelerator 1 had no splash. Accelerator 2 had
Well,
splash.
no, they didn't.
You don't need splash. The Devastator has no splash factor, so it's a waste of time.
They had a
I
few.
understand.
They had a few other specials that they dropped in. So wait to see what they drop after the next FM, the first FM after the raid, which could be escalation. Before you do any refits, that was what I would advise. Before changing any specials anywhere.
Brian, I like Brian's idea. I like that loader thing but mine's already built. I'm not changing a special now. I just got to get all the armors on. So
It
is what it is for number 1.
It depends on what they do with walls, because I tried these in the subsector base, and it still didn't chew through the walls as quick as I would like. In all honesty.
Yeah, like I said, I put like 1 to 2 Devastators on my Bucks, and I'm still running on base bar targets, and it's not doing what I was hoping it would do. I was like, oh, it's going to eat this thing. The shots take longer to get there, and it does help, but it's like the other shots are already there before the blue shots get there.
Padre, I did take and put the Siege 4 on there also, as well as
This one, it's 91.
Yeah,
so
you get a lot more damage, and it's supposed to take more down.
Yeah, and you get with the high HVRs, you get 80 and 80. Plus, it adds to your ballistic damage. So I feel like that's kind of the best damage combo you're gonna get.
Wait, your siege target's only 91? That thing ain't R15 then, because it's supposed to be 93. Yeah,
you guys gonna have a good laugh.
Yeah, what do you got, bud?
I'll show you a top
mine
player, his retro lab.
I've got siege targeting 4.
Oh my god, bro.
And I've got building damage of 1431.
My retro lab doesn't have almost anything to do.
Mine's got like I could do all of them. I don't do the retros. I just never really think about it.
Oh, when I got extra U, I always hit the retro, even if it's stuff I don't need, because you never know what's going to come back into play.
Yeah, my retro's pretty much up to date.
Oh, I didn't know you could do this. Look at these. You can do these too.
Oh yeah, all that's done in mine.
Yep. No, not mine. That's why I said you'd have a good laugh.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. I love you showing that. That was pretty hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, some of the things I didn't realise they dropped into the retro lab. So I'd been there for a little while.
So, Padre, how do you kick everybody's butt if you haven't got anything retro?
I mean, I guess you don't need it that much, huh? Hold on. Hold on. Let me look something up.
Yeah, you don't have to have everything to max. You know what I mean? As long as the fleet is balanced, isn't it?
Here we go. Ewok hacking. The Ewok hacker.
I know Ewok doesn't hack. It's a good joke, though.
Yeah.
No, I mean, they help, but I mean, it's not so much that it's a game, your game gets changed irrevocably because of it.
Now, Brian, if you look at if you look at Padre's base, like Brian's base, yeah, that is stopping a lot of the new holes, or a majority of them, So it's set up. It's how your base is designed. They can be stopped. They can, you can stop them. It's not nothing.
Well,
100%
actually,
guaranteed.
SLDP does have Padres base on our page, and he removed all of his long-range weapons and stuff like that, so he couldn't trigger stuff. And we know all that. And he put a hope in the middle that ranges all around the corner, and I'm sure it's a 131 range. I know what he's done, and it's actually pretty well done. It's just, do I really want to change my whole base layout and spend 66-year-old guy moving these little tiles around? I don't think so.
Go to Base Planner. It's so easy now.
I mean, you brought up that you're
was reluctant
66
to do it
multiple
well.
times.
I
I mean, does it really interfere with base design?
Yeah, because my brother died at 67. My other brother died at 64. I don't think I'll make 67.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. So that you think that redesigning your base is
it's a time
potentially going to kill you?
It's a time.
I'd have to hire a kid to move everything around. I just can't. I don't have the.
I tell you what, man,
or
I can-
adopt a
I can-
child.
I know a guy. I know a guy that'll work for you for the amount of coin you're spending. He'll save you 20% by keeping your base not from being flat, and you do 15% back to him.
But I mean, I watched. Padre was kind enough to show us last week a couple of hits on his base. I think they were using rages and other things, and he's base did really well. And
here's my hit list recently.
Yeah.
You think somebody wanted in?
Yeah, that guy. That's a coin master right there. Oh my god! But whatever. Teach their own.
So, but the point that we're trying to make is you can counter the new holes, with the armor on.
Okay, well, we're back to PvP again, where we're back to PvE.
Yeah.
So, if you want to talk PvP, before Ewok hit me just recently with the new stuff, Leo from BPL is the only one who's ever gotten in, and that was before that.
Yeah.
I'd take every hit as a blessing, figure out what I can fix, and always change something.
Yeah, you look, you see hopefully you can see where the weakness is. If you've got experience in the game, you can see, okay, that bit weren't working, that got wiped. I need to change this, maybe sort the bubble pad out a little bit more, or you can see where things are. Or maybe I need to move a ship back, move one round, swap out something. A hole for another hole.
I actually did move my third portal up, and that gave me a bubble pad, which means they couldn't come out and just get it and snipe out my breach.
And I didn't even delete any of the turrets that I have. I think I took out one turret, so I have 23 instead of 24, and I still don't have a lot of issue with people not being,
How many of your turrets at tier 10?
No, man, no. I don't have a single tier 10 in here.
See, I have 15 turret 10. If I started deleting turrets, I'd be an idiot.
No, yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, I'm not even deleting them, and I still got 2 8s, but I'm not deleting them.
Just put the junkers by the door, and then use that towards your pad.
Yeah. Well, put a couple of obviously put another. I don't know how your bubble pad's working, but put a few more up there. But
I'll bubble before all this is killed.
Hashtag after show.
Yeah. So there's no bubble pad. I use the Ahoy Miardi on that. But someone was saying there's some discrepancies between that and what's actually happening in the game. But it's a good rough guide.
Actually, it's all going to change because in this next refactor they're doing is going to be the bubble pad.
All right, guys. I found out that the Shrike is a sub.
Yeah, I think I already knew that. That's why I mentioned it before, but that's okay.
Yeah.
So that does mean that it needs to be fully repaired before it can go back out again. If you dock
That
it.
just makes no sense in a raid environment.
Well, it does in skirmish, just not in siege.
I don't know. I don't know. We had 2 surface ships for skirmish.
That's what I'm saying. They forgot to put the sub in the skirmish, and now we're in siege, and now they add a sub. I mean, it's skirmish. That was normal. We expect that, but not in siege.
Yeah, you know, if they gave you like a surface ship and a sub option, fair enough, which we've had a couple of times. But yeah, 2 surface fleets in a skirmish raid series, and now we've got a sub in a siege series. And as I said, a few times, yeah, that makes no sense. And I'll tell you what, it's not endearing me to want the Shrike. If it is, it'd have to be a phenomenal hull.
Yeah.
But why would you even think about getting the Shrike? Why? I mean,
Well,
I had
there
a
may be
I
some
don't want-
PvP implications with the.
I don't want to build it, but I'm going to get it. I'm going to build blanks, but I don't know if I'll finish it unless I see a purpose.
All I had was rises.
The new crew does not know Battle Pirates at all. They don't know what a siege cycle is. They don't know what a skirmish cycle is. And they got help that it's been there for years, but they're afraid to ask them, or they won't.
That's been going on all year. Every 3 months they get a new crew. That's the issue. They don't look at what the old crew did. They don't look at the notes from before.
Well, they may look at it, but the problem is
They don't understand
look
it.
at it. Well, they don't. It's so much detail. There's so much information there that. Well, what are you going to do? I mean, that's a lot to take in.
Yeah, but they expect that from us. So it's funny that they can't take it in, but we're supposed to figure it out.
Well, because we've been here for 6 years plus, 7 years plus, whatever how long people have been playing. But so we know what all these holes were capable of in the past. We know the specials they've got, and we even though it's a maze.
No, I agree with you. I just think it's funny when for a second when he just said they don't know. It's like, well, no shit, we know they don't know. That's the funny part. We know this.
Yeah, I mean, but they don't.
They said you're only going to need one of the 2 hulls last ride. I only built the rises, and in all 3 iterations of that cycle, I wouldn't have spent 100 coins altogether on repairs. And I only got the rises. I got the bat rise when we all got them given to me, but I didn't use them in the ride. I've tried it, and I was right.
I preferred that raise myself.
I like the razors. I went razors myself, and then when the flags came out, I went for a bat flag just for the to eat the smart torps up, and I like that. And then once all the tokens started coming around and we got the fleets, well, then I started building bats. But I never planned on building bats except for the flag.
I like the bats for the SSRBs. I mean, I just eat them up, don't they?
Well, now they're it's a needed and it was free, and if you put a little work into it, it's a great fleet, and you can get a lot of shit done.
I originally built the razors. Yeah, I went with razors first, and then I could see that the bats are actually going to be better in the map targets in the long run, and so I was my arm was twisted to build them, because I see they were working the SSRBs, and I thought, okay, well, I've got to bloody build them, so I have. Now this is my concern about the Shrikes. Are the Shrikes going to be the ones again that you're going to need because the Eradicators become useless in map targets or TLCs or whatever they're going to throw at us in the future, And
but you got time to build them. You got plenty of time to.
Well, no, you won't, because we still got to refit other raid. We have because there'll be another raid series coming up. You know what I mean? And then we still got to build another hull or 2. For the next raid series. So you'd never have that luxury of time of having empty shipyards.
Oh no, not empty, but you certainly will have enough time to build a second fleet in the next 3 or 4 months, surely.
I expect the new crew at Kickside to be gone like the old crews were. Their releases. They used to talk and like Rampage and have shows. They don't do it anymore. They're not public to the people anymore. Things are found out last minute, and I'm sure Harbin doesn't want them talking to us, and I think they're on the way out. They've had a lot of bad performances since they've done what they've done.
Yeah. I mean, that could be true, or the fact that they didn't really see any positive thing as far as their show. But I wanted to bring up something that Strady brought up to I asked earlier in the show if they want us to build both fleets. They sort of do encourage that in the Siege Cycle Strategy Guide. As an option to decrease repairs further, you can pick up both hulls so that you can run against the targets against which they excel. But again, this is just an option. The big question associated with that is, are they going to give us the tokens and whatnot in order to complete both hulls? That's the big question in my mind.
They've not given us a single build token for any raid hull,
So
they need to bring the 6 generic tokens back every raid, a few more dragon tokens, and there should be like the tokens that we need to do what we need to do.
They don't want to do that, and the reason why, right, is because
there is no reason why they have to do it. We need those.
Right, okay. The player base has shrunk. Okay, so they need to make their money from somewhere. So they need to get you.
But they will make more money if they supply a little help.
They need to get you to speed up to coin that fleet. They need you to spend a bit more money.
Okay, one thing I got to say, they put a thing out every day. Buy this, buy that. They have a store. There's no generic ship build tokens. They're all designated Conqueror ×2, Defender ×2. They don't put anything to help us.
Yeah, that's stuff they're trying to push, not stuff that we need.
Well, it's more about controlling the economy so it doesn't get out of whack. I mean, that's really why they're doing it.
There's no assistance. There's been no help in making our essential raid hulls be able to be
raid, FM fleet, everything.
Yeah, but I would expect that you would see that after the raid, as far as because they're going to throw the refit shit at you, and people aren't going to want to refit. But if they want to use their bat rays and their razor tails in order to do it for free, that'll be there. It's the way it's worked historically. I know, I got off kilter with on the Wednesday show when I was like, the VXP is broken. Because after the first VXP weekend, they're going to fix this before it comes out again. And then they told me, "Oh no, this is going to be the same." But I'm like, no, they need to fix this. I mean, they did fix it, but I was given bad information, right before the show. But
I'm impressed.
How long does it take to build a full fleet of these?
Well, it's like 18 days for one ship, so just figure.
And
without tokens,
we have a 3-month raid cycle, and essentially you have to build 2 full ranked fleets by the last raid cycle.
Yeah, the 4-month cycles were better.
The FM, they have to go back to giving us, we know what we're going to get every week, not this random chest thing where maybe
what do you mean random? I know what I'm getting every week, a 2-day and a 1-day.
Yeah, but before we got yeah, I know, right? Exactly. But before we got 13 days, because we could hit the double button and then do it again. Now we only get the 6. And if you're lucky, you might get more, and that's barely ever happened to any of us.
Yeah, I think has anyone here? I've gotten it one time in every FM since they started that.
I've never got it. I got
2 weeks ago.
I never got any more than 1 and 3.
2 weeks ago, I got the 2 and the 7. That's the first time ever.
I got 2 and 2, I got 2 and 2 in tier 5 twice. 2 and 2 days, but never a 7-day yet.
I was surprised. I had to look twice at it. You know what I mean? And that was a fortnight ago. 2 weeks ago, I actually got the 2 and the 7, which has helped me get my fleet moving forward. Yeah, the eradicator.
Yeah. So just a quick tip. Sorry, John, but if you're opening your chest, you want to open tier 5 first, because sometimes there'll be a 2 and a 2, and if you already opened tier 4 and it's a 2, well then you just threw away a 2-day token.
Yeah,
I use them as I get them.
Do you know what? That happened to me as well. Do you know I said 2 weeks ago, okay, I got a 2 and a 7. Last week, I got a 2 and a 2. But I already had a 2 there. And damn. And so it threw 2 days away.
So who are you greasing?
I wish, but it's But no, I ended up losing 2 days. But
Okay.
I was still like a few days up from the week before.
Randomization has to stop. It has to stop being a lottery.
Well, it'd be just nice if the bonuses were a lot more giving instead of taking. Because I wouldn't mind if it's a lottery, but I want to hit one at least once or twice, and a 1 year period.
I don't agree with.
Years I've been playing scratch tickets in Connecticut, and I haven't won anything on a $5, $2, or $1 other than a free ticket.
I don't agree that any of these things that we hit should be a lottery, and it's because we're all putting in the same effort to try and win the same stuff, and you should all be rewarded equally for that effort.
Well,
So
yeah.
it shouldn't be
that's how the old system was great because you knew what you're getting, and at the end, after you reset it, you did it the second time. You had it was like 12 or 13 days,
and you could plan for it.
Yeah. And that's the big part of it. That was the original complaint about the randomization, because they had more of it in the game, like the skirmish chest, and they had chests that you would win in the TLCs, and nobody liked that because you could not plan for that. It's supposed to be a strategy game, but then they add in this Atlantic
mystery
City
box.
Slot machine thing at the end, and it was like, this isn't strategy anymore. This is just
I mean, when they had that I forget what the TLC was called now, where you could go out and you win certain specials.
Oh yeah, that was the upper improvement or whatever it was. Tech up.
Yeah. But I mean, some people would get all the stuff they needed in the first few, and the other people might have to go right to the top tiers to get that. I mean, it takes so much more damage.
And then they made you take and use those ships you deleted there, the icebreakers. So you had to buy an icebreaker free from them to do it. And when you could do it for free with Zelos and Monos with no damage.
Yeah, but you didn't have to buy it.
Yeah, I don't know about buying it.
3 tokens there every week and all.
I
don't know how many
build one in like a couple FMs.
The thing is when they did that tech up and stuff like that, it should have been, that's the first tier prize, that's the second, that's the third, that's the fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh. And everyone knew exactly then where they stood, and if you got to the 7th level, you all had the same stuff. But because it was random, it was completely unfair. Because you might have got a load of junk in the first few levels, where some people got the good stuff straight away.
Yeah. At that TLC, I think I could only do like level 3 or 4, and then I had to stop because I couldn't go any further, and I didn't get the items that I needed, so I had to wait for it to come around again the second or third time just to finish getting the rest of the stuff that I needed.
That's because they killed you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, fast.
Yeah, and that was it though, because that's completely different. But I could do the same as you, and you could get better target, better prizes than I did, and yet I took the same bloody damage with the same fleets, and yet you got the specials and I didn't. I mean,
that's how it happened, because I didn't get the ones I needed in the beginning because I could only go so far, and then but by the time I did it a couple more times, then you don't have to get those items again. They're already out of the way, so then you get the next and the next and the next.
Well, supposedly they're fixing overpowered targets, but what I don't like is the fact that they can tune raids at will and change them on you.
They can tune anything at will and change it on you. Actually, it doesn't.
I mean, we're in a game that we play and we've been playing for so long. Some of this, and you are right, it is not fair, but it is what it is. And hopefully, with this new idea that Chris has came out with or whoever, and they're going to show where you're getting all these damage from battle logs. That's going to actually eliminate them on tuning shit, because we're going to say, okay, now we got more damage than we had a fucking minute ago. Why is this?
No, what it's going to do is make you keep refitting to get rid of that damage.
If that's how you go about it, but that's not how I do it.
Okay. Well, is there any parting words? We're running on the the second hour, towards the end of the second hour. I put the link on there in case anybody would like to join the show. Is there any parting words? I can go from left to right if I'm not sure why, but Toxic, you're number 1.
I guess because I'm from down under. That's why.
Down under.
I got one thing, and that is the ships that they put into the 88 targets. I my one of my well, two of my breaches aren't ranked yet, so I took them in there, and I killed 288 just the ships, the 4 ships, and all I got out of that is with a triple salty was 8,500 VXP. That's all I got. Yet when I didn't know about that,
with how many ships?
3.
Okay, go ahead.
And I didn't know that was on until I come onto the show, and I took my eradicators and I just autoed it. I just let him go, thinking it's the same as last month or last week or whatever it was, and they come out with 29,500 VXP on the triple salty, but they were dead.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's what I learned as well, Toxic. That's from the show, from them saying that, from Hefe saying that. So I'm gonna, on my next hit, I'm doing the same thing. I'm gonna go hit the ships and then get out.
You only get like 4,000 VXP for the 4.
Yeah, but your fleet's not.
Well, with the triple salty, I was getting a little over 28K per, and I could hit like 8 of them. So
maybe
this is with 4 ships. I was getting
maybe
a little
it's
over
different
20.
when you use eradicators. Because my breaches, I only got 8,500 VXP.
Oh,
breachers. For 2 targets.
Sorry.
Okay, because that's an armor related issue. Because the breachers have the eradicator has 100,000 armor, and how much armor on the breacher?
Like 5 million.
A couple of million.
6.1.
million.
Yeah.
Can I jump in with one more thing here?
It goes up to 8 million with the new armors.
The raid next week. Yeah. Is it starting Wednesday?
Wednesday to Sunday, guys. So make sure you pay attention. Everything's changed by a day.
Early, so we've got 1 day less build time. So just remember that, guys. We've got 1 day less build time.
The co-ops out there, the buck campaigns out there. Get your tokens, fix your ships.
Trying to plan your builds, just be ready. We got 1 day less build time as well.
Only 48 coins.
Brian's here. Let's see if Brian has anything to say.
I mean, I know the discussion was VXP weekend, but there are 2 things that significantly increase the difficulty of this coming raid. One of them is they can't fucking work out how to do VXP. Like, they fucked it up and they know it and they don't want to change it because this is the VXP any better? I haven't hit a target, but there weren't plans to increase it.
No, they changed it significantly.
Right, it's way better.
Oh, it's back now.
It's been fixed. Yes, yeah.
It's been
fixed, not fixed, but
it's 4 targets less.
Okay,
yeah.
It's a little better.
Well, it depends on how you run it. Like I was able to, like I was explaining earlier, with 1 ship or with 4 ships and no repair with the triple salty, and my ships weren't dead. I just got off because of doing it because I needed to start the show. I was getting 28K and I was able to hit 8 targets times, so 28 times 8 with a triple salty, and my ships weren't dead. So it's a whole different ball of wax than what we were getting last time.
They added 4 ships, Brian. You can get VXP off the ships. Go in there, kill the ships, 1 ERAD each, and then get out of the target timeout and then move to the next.
Yep.
That's mildly depressing.
Why is that depressing as opposed to what?
It's better than it was.
Suiciding your ships? Yeah.
Oh my god. I can't believe we can't just fucking increase the amount. Okay, well, actually, I was almost looking forward to it because it's so completely skillless that I would just run my ships in and kill them off and just have time to do literally anything else. But there's that, and the whole. So I checked the build time of an Eradicator with all the new stuff versus the build time of a Razortail, and it's 4 days longer per ship. So 16 days across 4 ships, and even though we have a week of FM and build time, it doesn't really make up for that. You're a little short, unless you get a 7-day token in there somewhere. So you're already squeezed. Like, I don't think I'm going to have my ships full as armored as I even want them to be, and I'm leaving a slot empty in time, and I'm certainly not going to have them ranked as much as I want to. So this is looking like really, really bad.
Well, the
It's sort of the
ranking has just
opposite of
been
my
solved.
impression.
The
I think it's
ranking's
getting
just been
better.
solved. Yeah, the ranking's been solved because now you know how to get more rank without your ship being suicided. And the armor, just throwing a DC-1 in that empty slot, it takes like what, an hour and a half?
Brian.
Yeah.
I keep a slot
Yeah.
empty in case I want to put on the 30 or 20. But like my fourth Eradicator needs armor. It's going to be repairing for most of the weekend, probably.
Right, I'm seeing your combat speed and your building damage, yeah, and that's what that's way below mine.
That's a different Brian though. There's two Brians on.
Yeah, I'm not Padre.
Yeah.
Brian.
Siege targeting 4 is going to do better than whatever you thought of in. Siege targeting 4 is going to do better than your Autoloader 3. So that's important.
Siege targeting 4 is good for the turret defense, so you need that no matter what.
No, siege targeting. Siege battery.
You're talking about
the way that siege targeting.
Oh yeah, you're talking about the building. Sorry, my bad.
At least what it appears to show in the game, which take it or leave it. But I'll get my E-Reds up. Yeah, it's this raid seems like it's going to be more difficult. I'm sorry, 8 targets and 28,000 per ship.
No, total. No, four ships. Each encounter, I got 28,000.
And he could do 8 targets. And he wasn't dead.
I didn't die.
Okay. So killing the ships with a triple salty should get you about 28,000 a target.
Right, and then get out of it. Time out. Go to the corners. Time out. Go to the next one.
Okay, good. So they fixed it. Great. So that's one of my big concerns out of the way. Yeah.
And your salty won't expire.
Oh yeah. There's that thing. Oh, that's true. Yeah. If you do well.
Leave it on the water.
Yeah, leave it on the water. Siege targeting 4 I have on mine. My building damage is plus 1431%, plus 1,400%. So that'll do you better than Autoloader 3. I have Autoloader 4 on mine because it has to do with the weight of maybe needing the heavier armor special as opposed to not. So that's going to be interesting depending on what armor exactly I put.
Yeah, and Cuttlefish reminded me what I said earlier. If you're using this approach is to send in a vet or a gunship to make sure that the ships are still around. Because otherwise, you're going to sit there for 10 minutes, and
Oh, there's no achieve
you
button?
can watch TV. I don't know what show you want to watch, but I highly recommend the 1978 Star Wars Holiday Special for everybody that's out there.
Oh, yeah. Motherfucker!
I will not recommend that. I will recommend Kalupi on Pluto TV, and it's a bunch of half-naked chicks dancing around to music. It's awesome.
Someone just posted on Twitter that weird VR scene with the Chewbacca's grandpa, but like the human girl.
Well, it was his father and his kid, and then his wife. Yeah, that's where.
Yeah, the father doing in the VR thing.
Was that
with the girl?
Kit? I forget who that was.
With the black girl. Yeah, that was an experience.
It's always Grizzly knows best.
That was an experience that I am not eager to replicate ever.
So, Brian, you're saying the siege targeting seems to be working better.
The numbers.
I think he's saying in theory the math works better.
The numbers look better. I don't know what that means.
Right? I guess my confusion is the siege targeting is going to give you 60% building damage.
But they're multiplicative. So
take that high velocity off and put on siege targeting 4, and then take a look at what that does. Your building damage right now is 932.
It goes up to 14.
Well, wouldn't you take off the loader because you want the ballistic damage from the high velocity?
Yeah, I don't know what comes into play first. Does the ballistic damage add in, and then it's 932 of my ballistic damage as it stands, or would it be? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the order of operations? I guess.
I would take off the loader.
Okay, that's an interesting question. I think.
So, because if that's true, then you're gonna be your building damage multipliers if it's based off your total damage Ballistic?
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
That-
I don't know the answer to that
yeah,
one.
that
That's
was
what
my
I wonder as
question.
well. Okay, so let me
Does
look at
someone
my
have an
build.
I don't know how to do screen share, but I do
Yeah,
have.
I'm sharing my screen at the moment. If anyone wants to
It
click
gets
onto
too
it.
heavy for me.
Yeah, I see it, but only other guys on the show can like click on everybody's name. I don't know if they're all showing to the rest of the community.
Yeah.
Okay, so 344.
When you talk,
Yeah.
your build comes up. I think.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Or you can select a person that
Yeah.
has their build on. Okay, and
Well,
before it was
we can, but they can't.
Yeah. They're
your
just
ballistic
watching.
damage was what, 230 something when you had high velocity on?
Hold on, I'll pull it back up.
This was low because he has the loader on.
Ballistic
that's-
damage is 249%.
So 3.5.
So if all that's added in
Okay.
first, then I think the HVR may be better. But
Let me take. Okay, so.
I don't know. I don't
2.29.
know.
Yeah. I'll call you Padre instead of Brian, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yours is pretty similar to mine in
Oh.
let's have a look. Apart from your reload, I've let's have a look. Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay, yeah. So I just looked at it. If I used a calculation of like your building damage project was 249. So I'm looking at that, and what I used is
Building's 932.
yeah. So what I used is 10,000 times 1 plus that 249%. So times basically 3.5, and then multiplied that amount by 10.32, and then I did that for my build. Yours comes out a little ahead actually if I do that way, but I don't know if it's like
If it's
adding.
calculated that way.
Yeah, I don't know if it's adding like times 1 plus 249 plus 932 because then mine comes out ahead. But what I
Maybe
like
that's a
about
question to post on Discord.
You gotta click screen. Who wants to show their screen?
I do. I've got my Battle Pirates up. How do I share my screen?
There should be a screen share on the left-hand side of your screen, second
it's the
from
green,
the top.
it's the green one, the second one down, the green one, yeah.
And the thing about HBR is if you have that, then what's going to happen? Okay, John, I see your screen that is seeing me, so you're going to want to flip over to BP right now if you want to show us.
Flip over to BP. Yeah, after you do that, click over to your Facebook or whatever BP page, and it'll show that screen.
Yeah,
but you're still going to be on the show.
Hope you guys aren't jealous of my skins. Hold on, let me go ahead.
I mean, those are neat. Okay, I can't. Zip drive cannon system for.
But yeah, that was. I remember back with the Cannoneers, we tried both. We tried a siege battery and a siege targeting, and then we tried a siege battery and a high
velocity rounds.
And the high velocity.
Can you see my screen?
Performed better.
Yeah, we can see it.
Yeah,
I can see it.
that. Yeah. Okay. If the high, okay, if HVR is that's good to know. So, and the thing about HVR as well is, it's a lot lighter. Let me see what
lighter projectile speed, ballistic damage.
But the ballistic damage pulls it in line. I think the weight is really big because that will allow.
Autoloader 3 is my heaviest special.
Well, see, I built this before nothing new came out.
What's
not a bad idea.
What's the speed of the fleet, John?
Yeah, scroll down to speed.
You can use Autoloader 2 instead of
What's it?
Autoloader 4,
5 or something.
Maybe if you have a little lighter armor, you could use 63. An Autoloader 4 with HVR, and that is a pretty big difference because you don't really have a reload bonus inherent. So, what's going to happen there is your damage is going to shoot through the roof, especially if you can fit Autoloader 4. But it's the heaviest special out there for a reason.
But do you think combat speed of 63 will be good enough for this eradicator?
I have Nuke Excel on mine because of the combat speed and because I don't have that welded barrel system because it's just not that good. I feel like because they give that speed, and because Kickside doesn't understand how their criticals work, still, that combat speed is going to be relevant somehow.
But Brian, both welded barrel and nuke accelerator stack. You can use both.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not using the barrels. I'm using siege targeting instead of the barrels.
I've got
I hear you. You want more building damage, but is it needed?
Yes, probably. Autoloader. That's the other thing. I'm using an autoloader over that.
I got a combat speed of 72.
Yeah, John and I both have 72. Ours are the same.
Yeah, I mean, I say the proof will be in the pudding. We've got our builds now. I mean, we'll know next Wednesday night how they're performing. You know,
we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Well, especially if somebody throws in a build with like, maybe swap out one armor versus another or one resistor versus another. I think we'll learn more if somebody does that.
So my build looks like it'll work, huh?
I think it'll work. It's not all the things I would have went with, but I'd build it a little differently. But it looks like it's solid.
Well, I built it before any new stuff came out.
Well, I'm going to say that the logic, the thinking behind my build is that we needed to get around the mountains fast, and that's why I went with as much speed as possible. That's why I went with 72 combat speed. And
you're planning on driving? I'm planning on autoing.
No, that's why I picked the specials that I picked.
Autoing,
the frenzy
autoing is not recommended here. I mean, if you've taken a good look at the ranges and the specific firing ranges of these ships, I don't think it's meant for autoing. I think it's I think that's a GDR thing that's probably not as relevant now anymore.
I
think they want you to drive on these top level targets.
Well, the sub will probably be the autoware then, because they always give you an auto fleet.
I don't think you really call anything an auto fleet anymore. One's more of a blitz fleet, and which is probably going to be more the Eradicator, to be honest with you. And I would have thought the Shrike would be more of a stop and fire. It's going to be the slower fleet. In all honesty, if it's got to keep stopping, to hit targets. So I would have thought theoretically the Eradicator with high speed would be more of the blitz fleet.
Well, I was thinking the sub being launcher shoots over the walls, and as soon as it kills the target, it goes under again.
Well, yeah,
that's all a mystery. We won't know until we can build that.
Yeah, we don't know, just fully how the mechanic of that works yet. So
absolutely. Okay, you have enough of my build. I didn't refit anything. I can't. I don't have ship time for it.
Yeah, I mean the big thing is Ben did a little experimentation with those are all charged armors, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and Ben did a little experimentation with the ferrite armor versus the C1CR.
Yeah.
And you showed me the red on your fleet, but what was the actual difference in repair time, and were they stacked when you were doing this?
They were stacked.
Okay.
And the one with the ferrite armor took like 7 minutes damage, and the one with the C1CR armor took like an hour and 3 minutes worth of damage.
Wow.
Well, I believe that because that's an upgrade. As I said, I built this before anything came out.
I just don't know why you put armor on it before it was ranked. Because
there's no reason not to, because there's no additional repair time.
Oh well, yeah. Well, I guess, but there's stuff coming out. But anyways, that's just how I look at it. That's just my thing.
Yeah.
Well, the reason I did it because incomplete ships, I end up with scrapping at the end of everything.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only reason I do that.
All right,
can you scroll back up again?
I don't know how many ships I scrapped and I never finished.
John, can you just scroll back up again and see what what you're getting there on ballistic and radioactive defense on that one? So let's have a look.
Well, it's not just merely the resistance numbers; it's also the total armor numbers relative to the fact that that additional armor is not being encumbered with additional repair times. That's the other big difference is once you put 4 of these on, you've diluted the repair efficiency of the original build by 20%. But that's not making all the difference that Ben is talking about, because that's way beyond the 20%. So that part's tricky, and I'm not exactly sure what's going on there. But that's a big part of this, is because the charge armor adds 0 armor, as opposed to the ferrite armor adds 5,000 per plate, so up to a total of 20,000 on top of the 100,000. So you get a good reduction there for 0 repair time as far as the damage taken. So it's tricky.
Wait 1 second. I don't mean to cut in, but Brian, only target the ships 1 ERAD per ship, and then get out of the target. Move to the next one. Don't try to kill it.
Oh, he doesn't care. He'd rather just blitz it, right?
He's driving and trying to kill it. I was just trying to save him time and get more VXP. Sorry, keep going.
Yeah, he's
all right.
more,
Do I change ferrite armors though?
What?
You should put ferrites on there for sure. But
well, I mean, on new ships, I would put the ferrites on. You're gonna see you're gonna see a benefit, but I'm not sure you're gonna see the same benefit of stripping those off and putting new ones on. At least at this point in time, maybe the
second or third. Yeah. Since they're built, I would probably leave them as they are for the first one. I think you're fine for the first one.
Yeah. Okay.
For the amount of points you're going to need, what are you going to need? Maybe 200, maybe 300 tops.
Well,
and that's with like
hitting tier 6 with them right now. So
what? That's a total. Your fleet's all right. Whatever.
I only have 3 ships.
Notice, you only have 3.
My fleet is named.
Yeah, I only have 3 ships. Right
okay,
now,
well, that's probably
right
why.
Now, you can see my builder 6 days and 8 hours. That's for my lead ship.
Mm.
You know, it's a long build, and
it is a long build,
and I already got build tokens on it, and I can't take and stop that and change armors.
Yeah, if I was going to coin it out as far as armor, I would go 3 ferrite and 1 of the D1 or D6C. That's the way I would run it personally. But I don't have enough information. Yeah, the one that in the FM that adds plus 30, I would add 1 of those and 3 of the ferrite.
My question is, because I have the ballistic resistor on this, I don't have any more ballistic resistors. I only have radioactive. And that's what my lead ship is going to be, and that's what the other one. So I have to change it out with one of the FM ones, I think.
I would just leave it. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah. I mean, personally, at this point, unless you got others, I agree with High Lord on this one. If you built to this point, I wouldn't. The cost of stripping that off and putting new on probably outweighs the benefit of putting on the ferrite in the first place, because you're paying the penalty of taking the old stuff off.
Or even the resistor. I mean, if you got to use like 1 radioactive just to keep the speeds all to match, well, then use 1 radioactive.
Yeah, it'll be 2.
Well, whatever it is.
Okay.
I mean, you could use the other radio. You could use the concussive one. You just won't get any bonus from that, but they're all going to match speeds. It's speed 5. Resistor armor. I mean, resistor engine is the same as speed 5, just with a little bonus kicker.
Yeah.
What was the build time on the D6C? They were quite short, weren't they, I think?
No, it's still 1 day, 9 hours. It's same
they're all over it.
Ferrite.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna get off present.
Okay.
Well,
all
right. Yeah, we were trying to log off earlier, and so I think we got to Magic Mike, and it all fell apart. Toxic had his little parting words, but Magic Mike, you have anything to say?
No, I was just watching a guy do a target and actually do 2 of the VXP targets with one fleet and only killed a quarter of the whole fleet for 2 of the VXP targets. Unfortunately,
awesome.
you won't
Yeah,
share.
well,
Do you have the flag?
that's
I don't know. Just 4 ships, so I don't think so.
yeah.
I
It's
recorded.
probably. I've also seen it done for 18 minutes with 4 ships.
Give me a minute or two for my parting word. I got to take a trip.
All right, because you're 66 years old and the bathroom is your friend, right? So,
Well,
let's
other than that,
go
no, I was a
to. I
little bit,
think it's because he's screen sharing. I think that's Padre, isn't it? Padre, you around?
I guess just hail Kixeye.
Yeah. That's always a good thing. I always like to lead the show with Hail Kixeye, but
Okay.
you could end the show with Hail Kixeye as well. It's
I'm impressed with the way they changed the VXP target, so I have nothing bad to say. I'm happy there's those new ships in there, and there are ways around it that we've talked about, and I'm going to use that after when my fleet's repaired after the first hit, because I suicided the first one because I didn't know, but I saw them there, but I didn't know, and now I do. And my second one, I'm going to use that advantage, and I'm going to go rank the shit out of these guys.
Yeah, I'm in. I'm at like. I'm all between like 73 and 70, 73 to 74 on my fleets at this point. So it's sort of, I'm running towards the end. Watchman.
Oh, guys. Okay, just remember the raid starts on Wednesday, so you have one less day to build that fleet. In case you thought you had a little bit longer. If you don't have a full fleet, which most of us won't, if you have the Highlander, you can try and park it in the corner to give you that extra ballistic bonuses. If you I think a lot of people are going to
radioactive defensive bonus.
Sorry, yeah, radioactive. Sorry, yeah. To give us those. 'Cause I think a lot of people are going to be dropping down to the lower tier anyway. The majority of players. But
I'm
yeah,
back
that
anyways, if anybody's
that was it anyway. So yeah, the raid starts Wednesday. So be prepared as best you can for Wednesday, not Thursday.
Okay. Yeah, and Cuttlefish in chat has a good point. Is at this point, I don't know if that he knows and tested it out, but since it is a siege target, the idea of using the long pinches to minimize damage of the rocket, not the short pinches that I know that Padre likes, but the long pinches.
Well, they take 8 hours to build each, don't they?
Well, yeah.
Well, it
We'll load
depends
up
on what
20.
size you're going to use, because the difference between a small one and a big one is it's 20%. But you could build the small ones for like 7 minutes each.
Yeah.
So
it's definitely an idea. Pinch the turrets and get more shit done if you have the time to build them.
Yeah.
Very valid point.
Yeah. So I wanted to bring that up, and then the next one is who is it? Is that we'll go with Six Pack because I'm not even sure.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey,
thank you guys for having me on. I really enjoyed myself, and I hope I kept myself good on this show this time.
Okay.
For parting words, I'd like to say that I hope the raid is more better than the last raids have been, as far as people taking too much damage and different targets and having it cranked the wrong way. It's the first raid of the series. I'm hoping not. I'm going to give Kixeye my best foot forward for 2019. I'm really not happy with 2018 at all. And I got one foot out the door. I took the money that I would normally spend on battle pirates, and I bought GPUs and CPUs and all kinds of things. And I've made my PC gaming PC. Actually, a pretty top-notch one. So I can go into other kind of gaming if this game folds.
So
I was assuming you were going to say you made it rain, but that's It's all good.
No, I mean it's just instead of spending the money on Kickside, I decided to spend it on myself.
Yeah.
And I'm
as long as you're happy. As long as you're happy. But I think a lot of your expenses, from what you've told us and I've just learned about you, are not all needed. So I don't know where you're spending half your money, but that's your money, so you do what you do.
Well, the thing is I'm looking now at moving on in case Kickside folds, so I can go into race car driving. And,
well, yeah, as long as you're having fun, I get it.
And also, I'd like to get into get a program that does flying. I like to fly different planes, jets,
simulators, yeah.
Simulators, yeah. I would love that.
I just met BP money. I was just confused, and I could save you a lot of money.
Well, actually, right now I've only spent $50 this month, and I don't see me spending any more with my bubble and everything, unless the rate is really bad, and then I'm just gonna quit.
Yeah, I'm thinking about spending my money on flying over more airports in England with my drone, but that's just me. Let's move on to High Lord. What are your parting words?
My parting words are: don't forget about the buck campaigns. The bats or whatever will do it easy, and you'll get all those tokens, and then you can do the co-op and get all those tokens. So maybe you'll have some ships to get some points in the lower tiers. And if you have some new tech, maybe I'm thinking about strapping on some ferrites if I can on some of my old bucks, just because when my erads are repairing, I want to still get points. So
somebody told me that the tides do better than the bats in that campaign.
Well, whatever it is, I'm just saying they will do it. I just meant for free players that got a free fleet, they can do it and get tokens and get that ship.
Okay. All right. George is probably still hasn't fixed his mic. 1, 2, 3. Padre, you have any parting words?
Wait, no. I thought I already did that.
Yeah, I'm not sure how things got mixed up on there. Yeah. Hail Kickside. And Ben.
Yeah. Good luck in the raid, everyone. If you don't have the full fleet, don't be afraid to hit down on targets. Remember, if you don't have the lead hull built, but you got the Highlander nuke cruiser, use it in the targets you can, park it in the corner, and get what you can get. And don't take anything personal. It's just a game.
Oh, I have one thing to add too. And if you do have the flagship where it is the Highlander or whatever, and it is, not fully built, you're using it just for a bonus. Well, what you do is, you up arrow to control your fleet, and then you push it all the way in the wrong direction and start driving it that way. Once it's moving, hit shift and number 1, and it'll park that one ship, and then you drive your fleet normally, and then you're good to go. So if you didn't know that, now you do.
That's it. Yeah, your Highlander will stay in the corner, and the other fleets the other ships that you've got will continue to run normally.
It's the same trick we used with the Kodiak when we're doing.
Yeah. Well, not everyone knows that, and to be honest with you, it wasn't working for me because I'm going to be honest. I've got a full-size keyboard. Yeah, so I was hitting one on the
You're hitting the number pad. You weren't doing
on the
shift
pad.
one on the normal keys. Yeah,
it doesn't work. Yeah, it has to be
on the normal key. Yeah,
it has to be the top. The on the number 1 on the top line. Yeah, below the F keys.
To simplify it, shift 1 will deselect the number 1 ship, your flagship. So it deselects it. Now you're controlling the rest of them. So yeah.
That's it. But people that have got full-size keyboards, just so you know, you have to hit the number 1 below the F keys, not on the number pad to deselect a hole.
Okay. All righty. I've had a lot to say tonight, so I don't feel like I need to say much more besides, see us on Wednesday, and good luck with VXP weekend. It's much better than last VXP weekend. So,
Might want to. I'll talk to you later about it.
Okay.
Good luck in raid all, and I hope my volume wasn't too loud.
No, I turned you down like to 18%. So
hey, whatever works for you guys. It sounds the same to me, but you guys are the ones that are hearing it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all for having me on. I don't come on very often. Last few times I wasn't feeling good. I'm feeling much better now, and I'm not having that cough.
Okay. So, well, thanks for coming on, and thanks everybody for coming on, and thanks for everybody in chat. And good luck at VXP weekend, and we're gonna talk. I guess. Let me see. It's gonna be 3. We're gonna talk right when the raid starts, which is fascinating. We never done that before because I've always consistently kept the show on Wednesday, no matter what other shows does or Kickside does. I just keep it consistent for everybody. So this will be the first time that we're gonna be, we're talking as the raid starts, which should be interesting.
Sure.
I don't know if anybody's gonna be live streaming. I got to think about this as far as like looking at targets and whatnot. Because this is gonna happen as the show starts, so it should be fun.
Can I stream with my G-Force?
What?
I have G-Force. Can I stream through that? It says streaming.
Yes, you can. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no. Yeah. I mean, all you have to do is hit streaming. I mean, if you was on here, yeah, and you got like screen share, if you was on the show. But I mean, that's whether you can get on a Wednesday one, because normally I think that's more of an invite until they open it up. You can stream, because you've obviously got an NVIDIA card, GTX, whatever it is, and you can just stream through that. Yes.
Oh, okay. Thank you kindly.
Yeah, you just do it the same way you shared your screen this today. Yeah.
It's just through my card. Yeah.
Yeah, and so whatever you're seeing on your screen, we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was trying to end the show because this is very much after show material.
Okay. Good night, guys. Have a good one.
Okay.
Good
luck. Good luck, everybody.
You can hear about all that, on the after show. And thanks for showing up. And see you soon. Bye.